All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Multiverse Show, episode 95, the greatest show on Mondays. We are admittedly doing a half-man squad tonight. A lot of stuff came up, so half the squad's gone. But we're going to be doing a little bit differently. We're going to be a little looser. We're going to be a little more cultured. These are the people who actually go watch movies and have a good time. So we're going to have a good time tonight talking about some of the cool stuff going on in movies and such. But also tonight is a community night. So if you guys want to be on the show or you want to watch, if you want to have a couple questions for us, drop it in the chat. We're ready to go. We're ready to talk about all this kind of good stuff. But we got to do some intros for tonight. First up, we have Caesar of Cinema, Mr. James Wilson.
I'm never introduced as like the first guest. It's crazy. Hello, James, James Wilson at James_S Wilson. I do the things.
And we got the Butcher of Blavka, the White Wolf, Samuel Tolbert.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope you're all having a good time. We're here to entertain you with another fantastic episode of the Multiverse Show. Even though there's only half as many of us, it's going to be twice as good as usual.
I do remember like a year. It was like a year ago that it was just you and me, Anchor. There was one time. It was definitely just you and me.
Yep, I remember that.
That was a good show.
I don't know what we talked about.
I know that somehow we managed 45 minutes.
Yep, and we'll see how far we get tonight. So again, I'm Anchorman, whatever. So we're gonna ask our questions for the evening. I always ask, what have you guys been playing? James, what you been playing, sir?
I haven't really been playing that much because I've been finishing uni work. Been recording a bunch of music for that. Mostly just comfort games. You know, if I've got an hour to kill, I play some FIFA or some Overwatch. It's limited by the time. I saw Avengers again because of course I did.
Oh,
but that's about it.
Yeah. So, Sam, what you been playing?
And also the Detroit demo, a bunch.
Oh, nice. What are your impressions?
I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's the best thing that David Cage has ever done, this demo.
Interesting. Interesting.
I think this demo is better than the entirety of Heavy Rain.
Yeah, I find it difficult to disagree with that assessment, being perfectly honest. Even though it's been a long time since I saw anything to do with Heavy Rain. I'm actually playing through Beyond Two Souls right now. I'd never played it before, but
Beyond Two Souls has a bunch of really good things in it, and it has a really bad reputation, I think.
It is, and like I don't get me wrong, there's some things I don't like, and there's a couple of things where it's like, okay, when you consider the context of some of the stuff that came out right before the game was going to release, yeah, I can see why it kind of got a bad reputation, but I don't know. I'm going to hold my opinion on it until I actually finish it. But anyways, going back to your thoughts on Detroit with the demo that you've been playing.
Yeah, well, I played this demo back in September when I went to EGX, which is sort of like it's England's E3, but it's more like the size of PAX, I would say. So this demo's been rattling around my head for ages. I was only able to play it twice during the show, but now I played it. I've got all of the endings. I was lied to by someone at Quantic Dream who told me that there's a way that in the demo that you could save Connor, Daniel, and Emma, but you can't. So I've been lied to.
No, I'm fine with that kind of thing though, because it's the whole idea that everything's gonna work out okay. I don't think that should even be an option in games. I think you just got to make the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but James, I'm sure you noticed when you were playing the demo, like the increasing software stability or decreasing software stability. And just from the demo, I got the impression that that's going to be a running theme of your mission may not be directly one-to-one with keeping you alive or keeping your characters alive, or like your mission, you can just, this is not a spoiler, the demo is a 15-minute slice. You can just tackle the guy off the roof. You save the girl. That's your mission. You complete it, but you die. That's obviously not a good idea. So
that is like one of the most common outcomes. Is that there's I think 8 different versions of an ending, but 3 or 4 of them involve you sacrificing yourself in some way. Whether that be a decision that you made or a failure of the thing that you were trying to do. Also, something really interesting about Detroit, just before we go on, So we know it's about 3 different. This is the, by the way, this is the opening scene of the game, which I think is the best way to open the game. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's not
When the
bad.
game comes out, it starts with this. So there are 3 main characters. There's Kara, Connor, and the other guy, Marcus. That's the one. And I've discovered this. This is really, really cool. So they hired a proper like Hollywood cinematographer to help make it more cinematic because it's a David Cage game. Of course it is. So all of the characters involve a different type of camera, a different lens, and a different way of lighting. And all of them have different composers who are working just on their storylines to make them even more distinct from each other. Isn't that so cool?
That is very cool. That's very cool. I am curious, especially given the fact that supposedly, we'll see if they lied or not, all 3 characters can die at many different points, and there's dozens upon dozens of endings and thousands of options and all this stuff. I am wondering how long a game this is going to be. Simply because you understand what I'm saying. Like, it seems to me that more than like a 5, 6, 7, 8 hour game, this is going to get really complicated really fast. So,
or really uncomplicated really quickly. It seems it could be either way, because there's been this running joke of people in the games media trying to get a definitive answer of how many endings of the game there are from David Cage and members of Quantic Dream, and they haven't been like avoiding the question. They don't really know.
Yeah, it's ambitious. I'll say this: if nothing else, I think it's definitely David Cage's and Quantic Dream, by extension, their most ambitious project. I'm really curious to see how it works out. The only thing I'm hoping is, from all that I've seen, I think that David has a really interesting storyline. I think Kara has a really interesting story. I'm really concerned that Marcus is going to be a stereotypical robot revolution. That's the one thing I'm like, please don't let that be the case. Please let there be more nuance than that. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's yet to be seen.
All right. Sounds interesting. I'm not going to play it, but sounds interesting. I don't know. It just doesn't strike my fancy. Sam, what you been playing?
I reckon if you played it with like a bunch of people, I reckon you'd love it.
Well, like most games, if you play it with a bunch of people, it's a lot of fun.
No, but this one, because it's all about making decisions, I reckon you with a group of people.
There's more nuance to it than that. I actually have heard that the best way to play Until Dawn, and I kind of agree with this, is to do it with like your significant other or with a good friend or something like that. But that's really the best way to play that game, making decisions together. So I get what he's saying. But did you ask what I've been playing?
Yes, I did. Like I ask every time.
So in addition to the demo, well, not every time, but anyways, I've also been playing a game called Frostpunk. I don't know if either of you guys have heard of it, but it's from 11-Bit Studios. They're the same developer and publisher behind This War of Mine. Did either of you play that?
Yes.
I know about This War of Mine. I have not played it. All right. I know of it.
So, I played the little ones. That's the sequel, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well,
the one for PS4.
Version. It's the console version. Yeah, they ported it to PS4 and Xbox. So basically, it's this War of Mine on a not global but on a city scale. The idea behind Frostpunk is in the mid 1800s, Britain and the entire world are subjected to a second ice age. The sun is dimming. There's ash in the air. Like minus 20 to minus 30 degrees Celsius is how warm it gets on a really hot summer day. And it's rapidly getting colder and colder. And so you have to use steampunk technology to create a working, thriving city and keep these people alive. But where it differs from other city sims is, sure, it throws some curveballs at you, like, how are you going to feed everybody? Can you produce enough coal? Can you build enough automatons to keep things running? But the real curveball, and what's really interesting, is you're going to be faced with hardships you can't overcome without making sacrifices. That's just a general theme of the game. It's impossible not to, at least to some degree. So you have something called the Book of Laws, and you write down in the Book of Laws whenever there is a statute. And once that statute is, resolved, it can never be taken back. That's it from here on out, which can provide some slippery slope scenarios. So on the one hand, when you're starting off, you might think, children can work in the kitchens and they can, act as medical assistants and things like that, safe jobs for kids. But if you've done that early on and then you face a labor shortage days, weeks, months later, Well, then you've already got children working. Isn't it just a little bit easier to have them working in factories, assembling automatons or mining coal or things like that? Or how are you going to keep public order? Do you go down the path of law keepers and police and structure, or a faith-based society? And it's just these slippery draft trails, like one thing after another. No matter what you're trying to do, it'll spiral out of control. And it's really interesting trying to juggle all these different sacrifices to keep the community going. And so I really enjoyed it. I actually have a review up on TICGN right now. I recommend anyone who even has a remote interest in city builders or played this War of Mine should definitely go check it out.
All right. That's pretty dope. Yeah, I just been playing God of War, Little Sea of Thieves, getting back into Fallout as usual. And I'm about to jump back into Hellblade, but I'm kind of waiting on that a little bit. I don't know. So something about it right now. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. So. Anyway, so going on a little bit. For those of you guys who just showed up into the chat there, we're going to be just answering community questions. So if you have any questions whatsoever about any topic, drop it in the chat. We'll do our best to answer those. We'll take a look back in a couple of minutes. There's been a couple little things going on gaming-wise. Honestly, I mean, we heard about God of War selling 3.1 million in 3 days, which is dope. That's great.
Yep.
It's good to hear.
Practically unheard of for its type of game.
Yeah, I'm not entirely surprised, though. But
No. I mean, when you've got this kind of install base, it makes things a lot easier, to say the least. But
yeah. So, and also, it's a sequel to a popular game franchise, so it's like, surprise. Anyway. So,
also, I remember that it sort of reminds me of when Persona 5 came out, because when it came out last year, it went to #1 in the UK game charts for the month that it was released, and then the next time, the week it was released, and then the next week it was at number 22, because everyone who wanted it got it in such a short amount of time.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's sort of what happened to God of War. Obviously, there will be a trickle going forward.
Sure. It'll drop steadily from here on out. But you're right. The majority of people who wanted to get it probably got it already.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it. I've only played 90 minutes, 2 hours, but it's there. I never get games day one. It's very rare for me to do that, but I got it for God of War, and I can't really explain why.
Yeah,
it's dope.
It's a good game. I've been having fun with it. Do I think it's
I've heard many things.
No, but it's good. It's a good game. I enjoy it. So, let's see.
That concludes the God of War portion of this podcast.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else happened this last little bit.
Let's see here. What else has happened? Destiny 2's second expansion, Warmind, is coming out tomorrow. But the real question is, if an expansion comes out and nobody plays it, did it really come out?
If a tree falls in the woods, can we make sure Destiny is standing under the tree?
Exactly.
Oh.
Let's see here. Rockstar has, and I'm just browsing.
Oh yeah, it was the Red Dead trailer. Let's talk about that.
Red Dead Redemption 2 got a new trailer, and it looks pretty darn good, to say the absolute least. Did any of you guys read the IGN First exclusive article?
I did, because I know some friends of mine wrote it.
It sounds pretty good.
Get out of it.
James, why don't you take it away?
Well, okay, so I'm the wrong person to do this, because I don't care at all about this game. Literally, I could not care at all. I didn't enjoy Red Dead Redemption at all. I thought it was very boring. But I don't enjoy any Rockstar games other than Max Payne. The open worlds that they make are not to my liking. They're very impressive technically, and if you like them and that's your thing, more power to you. But it just is not my bag of gaming.
All right. Well,
If someone gives me Red Dead 2, I'll happily play it. It doesn't seem like it'd be something I would enjoy based on what I played previously, made by the company, and Red Dead Redemption. So
all right.
It's weird that like it is it's such a big thing coming out, and like all I care about that coming out around it is Spider-Man. I'm way more excited for Spider-Man than I am Red Dead.
Well, all right. So, do you mind me diving in then for all of those of us
Sure,
who
go
are
ahead.
interested?
Absolutely, go for it. Go ahead.
By that I mean the non-James gaming population out there. So basically, the nutshell version is it's pretty much the Rockstar formula of like GTA 5 or the original Red Dead Redemption, but taken up to an 11 in every aspect. The story portion is the Wild West is dying, but it's not dead yet. The boot hasn't come down to crush it, to say the least. It's a prequel to Red Dead Redemption, and the gang decides to go for one last big bank heist to try and make it big before the Wild West is completely extinguished. And while we don't exactly have any details, suffice to say the bank heist doesn't go well at all. And they end up on the run from the law with officers and mercenaries and gun runners coming in at them from every which way. And so you're going to be going off many different states, exploring many different trails. They haven't actually said exactly how big the game is, but I'm definitely getting the sense it's huge. Far bigger than the first game, even bigger than GTA 5. Evidently, the leaked map that came out a couple of years back is looking to be correct, according to some people who have done crazy things like matching up towns and matching up cities, and I don't know how people are able to do that stuff and get enough sleep, but there you go.
How many Skyrims is the map?
I don't know, but at least 3,
okay.
I would presume at least 3. But again, I'm going off of a hunch. They're using vague terms like it's huge or it's much bigger than the first. So I don't actually know how big it is or what states it takes place in. But there's going to be different things like you have to feed the camp. If there's not enough food, then everyone is going to be cranky. You have to make sure that there's enough supplies coming in. You have to supply everyone with guns, ammunition.
Wait a minute. This sounds like a settlement system.
Oh God.
Wait a minute. Are we saying potentially that Rockstar copied Fallout 4?
Oh God.
Oh,
get your tinfoil hats out. Get the tinfoil hats out.
This sounds like a settlement system to me, sir. This sounds like copying.
Maybe. But evidently a lot of attention to detail has been put into, well, pretty much everything. There's different horse breeds, and different breeds are going to react differently to weather, to crossing water, to if gunshots go off near the horses, some of them will spook, but the hardier breeds won't. If a bear attacks, or wolves or coyotes, things like that. There's going to be crafting because, of course, there is. That's just the type of game this is going to be. And the drama seems to be, while they're keeping part of it under wraps, so to speak, the drama seems to be centered around tension unfolding in the gang and what led up to the events of the first game, in a nutshell. So, and not to mention, this should go without saying if you've seen any of the screenshots, but for an open world game, it looks drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
It looks good. I mean, Red Dead 1, I feel, and I don't even want to say it's Red Dead necessarily. I think it's just Rockstar. I'm kind of in the same boat with James. They're just Rockstar games. I don't have any urge to complete anything. Like, it's like,
that's fair.
like GTA 5 was the first Rockstar game where I actually said, I'm going to finish this. I'm not leaving. I'm not playing any other games till I finish this game. And then I got almost done. Like, I got right up to the big heist. And then my save corrupted. And I said, I'm done. I can't play this. And so I waited like a year and a half to start the game all over again and finally finish it. I was pretty pissed off. But it's Red Dead just does not, like, every time I play Red Dead, I get stuck at a certain point where I just don't feel any motivation to complete the game. Like the first time I got stuck at, I forgot where exactly. All I remember was with the snake oil guy. It's like,
did you make it to Mexico?
Yeah, I made it to Mexico. The second time I played it, I got to Mexico and lost all motivation to continue.
I finished Red Dead Redemption because I've been told by so many people that like you got to finish it. The story, what John Marston, oh, he's amazing. He's fine. But I did all the things, but I just the overwhelming sense, and I agree with you, Anke. It's just, oh, we've done this. Wait, what more? Oh, and like getting when I thought when Dutch died, spoiler for an 8-year-old game, don't care. I thought, all right, that's it. Wait, what? Oh, my overwhelming memory of Red Dead Redemption is going to Mexico and hearing the great Jose Gonzalez song.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember too much about going to Mexico, other than having to meet with the general and doing missions for him. That's all I really remember. But it just something about Rockstar games just don't grab my attention long term.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? You either like that formula, or you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested in it like I am, then looks like we're going to have a doozy of a game to look forward to come late October.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see how they do the battle royale.
Oh yeah, the battle royale rumor. I'm telling you, they should just stick with mine. If anybody is listening, it's not too late. 100 drunk cowboys wake up all over a town. Red Dead Redemption 2, Cattle Royale.
Cattle Royale. Cattle Royale.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to think of that one?
About 2 seconds. I stole it from somebody else.
Ah, you stole it. Like
I came up with 100 drunk cowboys. I came up with that part.
I mean, that'd be way funnier. Like, it's just a random spawn. Like, actually, that would be really easy to do in terms of a mechanic. Like, all you do is you just... Actually, wait. How do I think about it? Wait. Now I'm thinking about this. Because I thought, like, okay, what if you just woke up and you're in random spots? Like, that would kind of suck. So what if instead, like, the match starts, like, everyone's at a saloon, 100 people at a saloon, everyone's getting drunk, and everyone's got 30 seconds to choose where they're going to fall asleep or where they're going to pass out. But, like, when you move in a direction, you are... like you're stumbling, you're drunk, you cannot walk in a straight line. You can just kind of choose your general direction of where you're going. But then all of a sudden, like everyone's got 30 seconds and they black out, and but they're in that general direction of where they chose to kind of start the match. And so, but they're not exactly where they stop. They just black out, and then they're in that general vicinity. And then you start the match that way, so you give people that ability to kind of choose where their starting point is, instead of it just being entirely random. So, I mean, that'd be a cool idea.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah,
that would be indeed.
All right, I'm going to take a look through some of the questions in the chat. You guys keep going for a little bit. Let's see what we got.
Well, somebody asked about Infinity War spoilers.
Yeah, that was my brother, actually.
So yeah, let's talk about Infinity War stuff.
All right.
As a general thing too, if you haven't seen it by now, that's your fault. Like really, it's been 2 weeks.
If you're watching a gaming, filming, comic book show and you haven't seen Infinity War by now, you're like, well, come on.
Yeah. Like the movie already passed $1 billion in 11 days. Like
it's if you were getting $1.2 billion, or it will be tomorrow morning, supposedly.
Yeah. So, like, if you haven't seen it, just get out now. Like, all right, and I'll kick it off, I guess. The part that got me was when Peter died.
Oh,
like,
same.
It just
same.
I was like, made me cry. It hurt me real hard.
It was because he had nothing to apologize for, but he really meant it. I'm sorry, Mr. Stark, but
yeah, it was that was gut wrenching. That was. And that performance from Tom Holland, which evidently he improvised, that was all him. That was not the original dialogue in the script, and the way he's just clinging to him. And, it's like a brutal callback to in Homecoming when Tony's telling him, no, we're not there yet, when he tries to go for the hug. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was incredibly brutal. And then when you realize he's the only one who felt anything happening because his spider senses were practically on fire, telling him something was wrong.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, he's the only one who actually could feel something. All the others didn't feel anything; they just faded away. But he would have felt it.
Oh my god. Oh, it's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Thanos,
oh
you
my
dick.
gosh. So here's actually something I thought about. So in the comics, Thanos' motivation is I want to kill half the universe so I can turn on this lady who's the literal embodiment of death. I want to kill half the universe just to impress her. So maybe I can get some. That's his entire motivation. But if you actually look at him from his updated Malthusian backstory, where his whole goal is, hey, I want to kill half the universe so I can justify saving all these. I'm saving all the lives by there's limited resources, so I got to kill half the population to save everyone. And that actually doesn't make any sense if you think about it anymore. Like even if you agree with Malthusian principles and such about like there's limited resources and we have to plan for that, even if you agree with that, Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet. He could literally create infinite resources.
That's true, but the entire point is he's supposed to be understandable. That doesn't make him right. He's clearly insane. He is the Mad Titan for a good reason.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, no. The idea is that if that is his goals, I want to save the universe. The problem is limited resources. I have to get rid of. Okay, that's the problem. What's the solution? The solution that he proposes that's not possible is, we have limited resources. We can't increase those resources at all. So I got to kill half the population so the other half can survive. But instead, he gets the Infinity Gauntlet, which grants him near godlike powers. And instead of solving the problem as a rational person would, he's like, nah, let's still kill people.
Yeah, because he's not rational. That's the thing. He's not even remotely rational.
It doesn't make any sense if you have the Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, not only that, but I also am getting the impression here, simply based off of the fact that the gauntlet was heavily damaged after he used it, that even the gauntlet in this universe, in the MCU, can't take all 6 stones being used for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Because if you look, it looked like it practically exploded on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was sort of like the gold plating was sort of melting away.
That's right.
We were talking about more character deaths because god damn it, like those are the spoilers. I think killing Loki so early was a brilliant decision.
It was brutal, and it was brilliant because it set the tone right there.
Yeah. Like I know someone in particular who was so pissed off he died in the first 10 minutes. She was like, "No!" It ruined the rest of the movie to her.
The worst one for me because, as I said, I work in a cinema, and I saw the first midnight screening, so I wouldn't have to watch the opening of the film like 4 times before I could see it. And so people were coming in the next day, like with Marvel T-shirts on, with like all their favorite Avengers, and like they would come up to me and having a chat with me and going, "Here, I said, what's your top 5?" And they said, "Top 5 Avengers," and then they just went, somebody went in the order that they die in the film. Like it went Loki and then the other people in the right order. It was really weird. But but putting that so early on and so unceremoniously, it's not like with a flourish that the death of a god would deserve. It's being crushed by a mortal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he has 2 Infinity Stones, he's still mortal. He's not a god.
For sure, especially after Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. But if anything, it just made. We talked about how Thor, I think, is the MVP of this entire.
Oh
film.
yeah,
Thor is the MVP of this film. Strange might take MVP of the whole scenario once the second film comes out. Well, the jury's out on that, so we'll have to see.
because whether or not Strange actually made the right call by giving him the time stone and saving Tony is a big question.
Right.
Like,
That's
you have to think that it was the only call he could make because he literally said there is one outcome out of 14 million something where we come out of this on top. So I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen, and apparently it involves giving away an Infinity Stone. So obviously he knows something we don't.
Right,
But
exactly.
No, sorry, you go.
Okay, fine, I'll go. So this is the thing, right, that got me. I was talking with a couple of friends and some family after we saw it. I don't think Strange had a change of heart that quickly, just fighting along their side, because he explicitly says to Tony, he says, if it comes to saving the stone, saving the boy, or saving you, I will save the stone. That's all there is to it. I'm sworn to protect it. So in the long term, I don't think he had a change of heart to just save Tony. I think he truly meant there is no other way in the long term for everything to be okay and for the stone to be okay except to give it to him, which might seem counterintuitive, but there you go.
100%. But just going back to Thor for 1 second, we talked last week about the great scene with him and Loki in Thor Ragnarok. The elevator, but like, who knew it could be topped by him talking to a rabbit? But just the scene just before they get to, how do you pronounce it? Nividimir, something like that.
Nidavellir, I believe. Yeah.
Well done. That was well done.
I'm a Norse Smith nerd, dude. So it's
fair play. We're going. So you said your brother's dead, yeah, and my father. Oh, boy, do you have any siblings? Yeah, my sister was the goddess of death, and she took my eye. Well, you have a mother? No, she was stabbed by a dark elf. And it's just, oh, dude. But just the way the Rocket just looks at him and just goes, "Are you sure you're up for this murder mission right now?" Because he's not. He's so not.
Yeah, it's like, it's in spite of how funny a film Thor Ragnarok is, and even how, to a degree, black comedy funny that scene was, Thor's been put through the ringer here. He really has. And which is why it was so satisfying for him to be the MVP crashing down in Wakanda.
It was outstanding.
Best scene in the film, as far as I'm concerned. That was phenomenal. And I'll say this, at this point, I don't think it's up for debate that he's the strongest Avenger.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, he's the one who nearly took out Thanos, and the Hulk couldn't do it. So
with all six stones.
Let's talk about the Hulk for a minute. Sorry, I gotta talk about the Hulk for a minute. The Hulk was so pathetic in this game. No, the Hulk was so pathetic in this movie. Like, he shows up.
Think of it in the sense that they described him before as like a pestilent child. And imagine if you were a child and you always got your way, and then suddenly this big purple thing says, "No, you can't beat me." Imagine how your reaction to that would be.
I think it goes deeper than that, though, because the Hulk has fought things that he couldn't beat before. Thor basically fought him to a standstill before. Fenris gave him a good walloping before he went over the side of Asgard. It's more the fact that Thanos took the Hulk apart. Once he recovered from, being whacked around like a rag doll, he just took him apart like a professional boxer. A jab here, a punch there, quick counters here.
He touched him maybe like 7 times.
Yeah,
he touched him maybe 7 times, but he was going for pressure points. He destroyed Hulk. Hulk maybe had 30 seconds of screen time. Like, that's how little time he spent.
Hulk was faced with someone who, even if Thanos isn't as strong as Hulk, and I'm not sure about that, maybe not, Thanos could take him apart.
Power Stone.
Well, but he wasn't using the Power Stone in that. He wasn't using it. It wasn't glowing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. Beg your pardon.
Yeah. So
Thanos was by default pretty much stronger than the Hulk's base power.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, if the Hulk were to get angry enough, sure, he could probably become stronger.
Maybe.
I got a question for you guys. Sorry to interject. Yes.
Who's this?
Oh, baby.
I saw the open invitation. I'm like, this will be fun. I got not much else to do right now. My question for Thanos, though, is like, I'm not too much in the comic book universe or into the Avengers universe. Why is he so powerful? How is he just that much stronger than the Hulk without using any of the Infinity Stones?
Well, it's a long story.
Because that's crazy. Come on, like, it's the Hulk, for freak's sakes.
Yeah. The thing about the Hulk, at least in terms of, I'm only talking from comics here for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Every time the Hulk changes, or Banner hulks out, it's a different Hulk. Like it's not like it's not like he always goes back into the same Hulk. It's really dependent on his mood, stressors around him. For example, anytime he hulks out in Vegas, he turns into Joe Fixit, the Gray Hulk, and he becomes like a mobster.
What?
Like there's certain stressors that do affect him more than others.
That's kind of neat, actually, because that's something I've never known. That really kind of puts how his power works into a much better, more appealing aspect for me, at least. And
so, like, there's Savage Hulk, which is the dumb Hulk who gets stronger as he gets angrier.
The popular
that's his ability. That's the one everyone is familiar with. There are other ones. There's Professor Hulk, where Banner has control of the Hulk's body, but he's not nearly as strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a change in his character. There's other ones. There's Maestro, which is Hulk from the future. There's quite a few other ones in particular. But like I said, it really is dependent on certain stressors on him. And so when he hulks out, he's at different power levels almost all the time. Like it changes that mentality.
That's crazy.
But the thing with the Hulk as well, so if he were to Hulk out, we don't know what his start power level is. It's normally, decent. But Thanos in the comics, I'm trying to remember correctly, he lived on a planet called Titan. No, not Titan. I'm sorry. It's oh man, it's Titan's the one they called in the movie. I can't remember the other one, but he's like the son of a new god. Is that in the comics? All right. He's the son of a new god and a Skrull. There's a woman who transforms. She's a Skrull, and she transforms into to look like a new god. But when he was born, she forgot to change her internal physiology.
So he ended up looking like that.
So that's why he has the Skrull chin. That gives a little bit of aspect of it. But the new gods are pretty OP. I know way more about the about Apocalypse and other stuff in the DC universe like that. Like who am I thinking of? Man. I mean it's like Kirby, I believe. At least all Jack Kirby. It's all the same guy. Made everything. All that cosmic weird stuff, that's him. Like that's his baby. So it's weird, but Thanos is he is almost like, consider him like a demigod in terms of power level. But he's a cosmic demigod.
He's just no ordinary demigod.
He's just ridiculous.
One of his parents in the comics was one of the Eternals. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. I'm honestly not the best person for this. Cognito is.
That's fair.
He's fair. Cognito is the master of the cosmic. We let him. He knows all that kind of stuff.
In terms of beings in the universe, though, Thanos is pretty close to the top. Might not be at the top, but he's pretty.
Oh no! He's not even close to the top. At least we're talking without the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet. He's not even close to the top.
Well, we're talking about mortal beings here. I'm not getting into
mortal beings. Yeah,
I'm not talking about the Celestials or any stuff like that. We're not getting into that.
Dormammu be the top one, or at least be one of the top.
Dormammu's not even our dimension. That's the thing.
He doesn't
He's
count.
not even in our direction.
No.
Yeah.
No. He's in the dark dimension.
It's more of a bargain to bring up Dormammu.
Don't do that.
All right, just keep my lips shut.
But yeah, but I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but I think I'm going to rehash it anyways. The fighting and the CGI was just unbelievable. Every single scene was fantastic.
I've heard,
and like
incredible.
This film is so good that it highlights all the problems that everyone ignored in Civil War.
I didn't like Civil War too much. Honestly, it was one of the movies where I thought it was okay, but then I guess I expected more action scenes out of it. There seemed more character development than there were actual part of the Civil War, so to speak.
And a terrible villain.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wasn't very impressed. So I'm pretty excited to see the Avengers because I haven't seen it yet, but I don't care for spoilers because I'm not like a huge "oh my God, see Avengers" sort of thing. I'm just like, oh, it looks good. I'll see it whenever I see it.
Well, in that case, let's briefly mention the post-credit scene.
Go for it.
All right, yeah, post-credit scene.
No.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I agree it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary because it's an opportunity. You didn't have to, but they had to kind of give some people hope.
No, they did not. No, they should have just crushed it. Just
Yes, they did. The children were crying, man. Children were crying.
Good. Let them cry.
Seriously? Are you doing this? Are you pulling the Simpsons on me? Won't anybody think of the children? Come on, dude. No.
So tell me what happens. All
right, so at the very end of the movie, you start seeing other random people start disappearing on Earth. Like cars are slamming into each other. You see Nick Fury and Colby Smulders.
Maria Hill.
Maria Hill. That's who it is. I keep forgetting who she's playing. Maria Hill. They're together, and Maria starts disappearing, and Nick Fury starts disappearing. But he reaches into his pocket and grabs a pager. And it's a logo for Captain Marvel. And he disappears.
Man.
He disappears midway through saying, "Mother."
That was funny. That was cool. Don't get me wrong. PG-13 films get one, so they should have just let him do it. But at the same time, I suppose that's a Disney thing that they weren't gonna sign off on that.
Yeah, that would definitely be a Disney thing.
How crazy would it be if at the end of Deadpool 2, all of a sudden all the people who disappeared showed up in that universe?
I could just imagine,
but like playing like the different people. So, like, but they're all still the same people, but they all play different ones. So, like, Tom Hiddleston plays Thor, or someone like that. Tom Holland turns up as like another Deadpool.
Shoot,
that'd be funny.
Well, how many Thanos jokes do you think we're going to get in Deadpool?
Oh, like at least three. At least three.
Oh, man. I can't wait for Deadpool 2. It's going to be great. I love the first one. He's my absolute hands-down favorite superhero, for sure. Not even superhero. He's like...
No, he's not a hero at all.
No, he's not. He's just some kind of asshole, not going to lie. He's just like...
Oh, did you all see the Celine Dion music video?
Yes. Oh, my... Okay. I was in the washroom, kind of watching it, kind of just finished washing my hands. I was like, "Oh my, what is this? Deadpool?" A girl walks by the door, and she's outside. She goes, "What are you watching in there? Sounds like a really sad song." Nothing. I'm not locking myself in the bathroom crying. No, I'm watching a Deadpool 2 trailer. Lies. I don't believe you. I swear it's not Celine Dion. I swear. Doesn't matter, I'm Canadian. I thought that was pretty funny. And it sounds like a really sad song. You just broke up with someone and you're crying alone in your room and someone walks by. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. It's Deadpool 2 trailer. Are you sure? I don't believe you.
I feel I can't wait for that song to be... I can't wait for Deadpool to be holding a jukebox outside Colossus's window playing that song.
I haven't even listened to the song. I gotta hear this now.
It's not particularly amazing. It's a very, very obvious Celine Dion song, but then Deadpool turns up in high heels and does a dance. The thing is, it's obviously not Ryan Reynolds, but part of me thinks it is. and I don't know why.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. He's that kind of person to just do it.
Oh, he can't move. He can't move that well in heels.
Maybe we should.
Are you judging him, James?
Like, was it actually you in the heels?
I'm saying he's not. Well, it's not me, but I'm saying it's like he's no Brendan Urie. Let's say
Oh, jeez.
he doesn't
I
make
just
those
like-
high heels work.
The marketing for Deadpool 2 has been hilarious, as the marketing for the first one was. I just love the ad where the guy, like the ordinary blue collar worker,
Peter.
shows up.
Oh.
Yeah, Peter, and Deadpool's asking him, "So what kind of powers do you have?" And Peter's like, I don't really have any superpowers. I just saw the ad, figured I'd show up." And he's like,
You're
Well,
in.
So,
That guy's an American comedian called Rob Delaney. He's got a show on in the UK called Catastrophe, and it's so funny. And like
Oh,
he's
I'll
a
have to
really,
find
really funny guy, and I'm so happy that he's in this. And also, I watched the first trailer for Deadpool, Deadpool 2, I should say. His headshot of Peter's headshot is in that trailer. And so I did some little research, and there were all these fan theories about who Rob Delaney's going to be playing, and they thought it was going to be like a James Bond type character. But then he came in and he was like, slightly overweight, and just just Peter. Okay, cool.
Nice. Oh my goodness.
"Oh man,
But you know what's crazy is we're all crazy excited about Deadpool. You know what comes out like 10 days after that?
No idea.
Solo.
Oh.
Where's the buzz?
Nah.
Where is the buzz?
there is."
There is-
Well, the only
It's
buzz for
there.
Solo is the fact that I'm going to have to get Buzz to get through it.
Oh.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way
You know,
to put it.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You know what the problem is? I love Donald Glover. I really like Amelia Clarke. Woody Harrelson, fantastic actor. So it's like this is like a dream team of actors
Emilia
/
Clarke.
actresses. Yeah, I said Amelia
great.
Clarke. I said Amelia. Clarke.
And Alden Ehrenreich.
Yes. So it's like the casting here is phenomenal. So where is the buzz? Where is the hype? I don't know.
The most hype thing about this film for me is the fact that they got rid of Lord and Miller. Still don't know why they did that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
I'm not entirely. I have not followed anything about this movie, at all.
So it was going to be directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. You know them as the directors of 21 and 22 Jump Street and the Lego Movie.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
They wrote and directed those, and they also were producers on the Lego Batman movie. So they were going to be doing Solo, and it was going to be funny. It was going to be cool with all the same cast, no difference. And then Kathleen Kennedy, the runner of Lucasfilm now, saw in a bunch of cuts and fired them for being too funny.
What?
The film was too funny, so they were fired, and they brought on Ron Howard.
Really?
Man, I'm not going to say anything more about that. I just let me put it this way: after it comes out, I hope we're all taken aback.
Yeah, me too.
Way.
Yeah.
I really hope so, but I don't think we will.
Yeah. There's nothing I like more than being proved wrong about something I thought was going to be terrible. It's the best feeling.
Yep. I mean, but it's Star Wars. It's like there should be a sense of special excitement, and
I feel like it's too soon. It's too soon after Last Jedi.
especially because of whether you liked it or not, and that's a whole different discussion of how strong a film The Last Jedi was in terms of the things it did, in terms of, base breaking, to say the least.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether you liked it or not, you have to admit it was a very bold movie. And so, yeah, it needed more time to marinate. People needed more time to miss Star Wars to let what The Last Jedi did set in, so to speak.
So do we think that Deadpool will make more money at the box office than Solo?
Yes.
That's you think so?
Yes.
That's difficult.
Yes.
I think it will.
It has a good shot. It has a very good shot, to say the least.
The only reason that it might not is that Solo is a PG-13.
Not just that, but it's also Star Wars, right? That big name brand on
I feel like
Yeah, but
I feel that'll help it. Yet it will push it, but I don't think that's going to push it too much.
keep in mind, Last Jedi pissed off a lot of people.
That's true. That's true. And the first Deadpool movie was, one of the biggest rated R.
First
First one,
it was.
right?
It is the biggest R-rated movie of all time.
And it did good though.
No.
It hit
It's
off
not.
on so many good points.
What beat it?
I think it's still behind The Passion of the Christ.
All right, I'm going to go look that up right now so that we can just put an end to the debate. Give me 1 second here. Deadpool.
Was definitely the biggest
Passion of the Christ.
R-rated.
I know it was
comic book
definitely
movie,
Passion of the
sure.
Christ before Deadpool came out. Because that was huge with like the Southern Baptist audience. Passion of the Christ made $611.9 million in its lifetime. So
Deadpool made
$783 million. So yeah, Deadpool was bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Take it back.
Yep. So I mean that's the thing. It has that buzz going into it as well. The only thing is though, and I think what's so weird about it now is that Disney literally owns all these properties.
They do.
Whether or not explicitly or not, now they have an invested interest in the success of Deadpool. They do.
Well, they're not right now.
Not exactly, but it's not in their best interest to destroy it.
No. If the second one does extremely well, like just as good or better than the first one, then they know that they're gonna have to start looking into it a little bit more, or paying more closer attention
I think it's
to
safe,
what's going on.
maybe $500 million. I think that would be a safe bet on a high end.
I'm doing some research here. Evidently, pre-sale tickets are like twice of what Black Panther was. So it will have a strong opening at least.
Yeah, but it's not going to outdo Black Panther. No way.
No, it won't. I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to be 500 million. I think we are still talking 850 million.
Were they saying that the pre-sale tickets for the Han Solo movie were preceding more than the Avengers one?
No, not more than Avengers.
No way.
Avengers was absurd. I don't remember what the pre-sale tickets for were, but it's the highest.
$1 billion. Like that's freaking crazy.
Can I do something really interesting?
Dude, you got to realize this thing is on track to beat Star Wars for highest grossing movie of all time.
It's coming for Force Awakens right now, and I'm going to be honest. If it keeps this momentum, are we talking about it beating Avatar?
No.
All right, wait.
When's the next one coming out? Come on, man! I've been waiting so long. I think we've all been waiting.
I don't think we will ever have. I don't think Avatar will ever be beaten.
So stupid.
I mean, 2.8 billion.
Avatar was such a weird time.
Yeah,
because it was the. And I have a lot of problems with Avatar, but the one thing I don't have a problem with is its visuals. And like watching that film in the cinema is one
3D.
Of the best things. In 3D IMAX, it had all of the things that made a ticket more expensive, and that's the thing. Because like Avengers is 3D IMAX, but a lot of people are going to go see it normally. The thing about Avatar was you have to see this film in 3D IMAX, and people did repeatedly. It just kept running and running and running.
For the time, it was like it was almost ahead of its time for when it released too.
Well, it came out what 10 years ago? 2008, 2009?
It came out almost 10 years ago.
2012.
Yeah.
2012.
No, it came out 2009.
Wow.
December 2009.
So. Yeah, so like the 3D IMAX film was sort of defined by Avatar in a certain way.
Yes, Black Panther.
Yeah.
Because you had IMAX and you had 3D, but you never had like such a brilliant integration of it.
Yeah,
and only someone like James Cameron could do that. And
I'm sitting here like, how are we supposed to get sequels if it's been 10 years since your last one? Like,
that's
like, when are we gonna get them? Like, he's like, I've actually been developing these for the last 10 years. I'm just gonna wait till I'm dead to release them.
Supposedly, preliminary shooting for Avatar 2 did start last year.
Yeah.
Supposedly. So, we'll see what happens there. But it's definitely going to be interesting watching the Avengers in box office. And speaking of IMAX, fun fact, I don't know how many people know this, but Avengers Infinity War is the first movie to ever be shot 100% in IMAX cameras.
Wow.
I did not know that. That's very
You did
interesting.
not know that.
Almost
I'm
all the
surprised.
movie would be fit for IMAX. Almost the entire movie would be fit for IMAX. So
Yeah, so, no, they filmed the entire
Yeah.
thing. Every last second is filmed in IMAX. So
That's why it's so costly to make.
yeah.
Very
Yeah.
quickly, I'm just on Box Office Mojo, and I'm looking at the domestic grosses for the US.
Sure.
Obviously, we got Black Panther #1 still 693, Avengers 453. In 400 more theaters. Interestingly, the crazy one is what's #3. Any guesses?
None, honestly.
Quiet Place.
I heard that did really well, and
It's got
an extremely
160
good
million.
movie.
It did 30 million more than Ready Player One.
That's good because I've
I mean, it
been
deserves to
wanting a
be
good horror
perfectly
movie.
honest. It was a
Absolutely, but
fantastic
like some interesting stats. 400 less theaters than Ready Player One,
Wow,
Wow.
and 600
that's
less than
substantial.
Infinity War. So like, and a film that costs what, like something like 10 or 11 million, and it made 160. The best
Wow.
thing Michael Bay's it's the best thing Michael Bay's ever been attached to.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
all right, guys.
Right.
We should start
we
wrapping
talk about
some
some
of this stuff up.
games?
Nah, I think we're good. So that's why I love doing this show, is like, because it just goes random. The fact that we didn't even get to any questions. Oh man!
You know what?
So,
Since we're wrapping
anyway.
up, I'm gonna do a little shout out for a film that's coming out. I think it's coming
Sure.
out in America next week, the 11th. It's called Beast. It's by somebody you've never heard of, featuring people that you have no idea who they are. But it's a little British indie thriller, dark comedy, more of a thriller with comedic elements in it. Really, really interesting film. Like, you've already seen Infinity War. There's no other big films coming out for a couple weeks. If you've got the time, go see this film, Beast. If it's going to be limited release, so if you can see it, I urge you to. It's a really, really interesting film.
Okay.
Okay.
I will
That's it.
definitely keep that in mind.
All right. So, Rage, while you're here, since you showed up late, do a little introduction for yourself here. We've had you on the show before, but you didn't get a chance to intro yourself.
Oh, well, I guess I can do that now as an intro outro sort of thing. This is RageVirus X. You can find me on Twitter at RageVirus_X, or I guess now soon to be at TCIGN.com.
All right. And James, where can the good people find you at?
The people can find me on the tweets at James_S Wilson. I also that's all I do. Yeah.
All right,
no,
Sam.
Instagram James S Wilson with 2 L's.
Oh no, too late. It's much too late. No, that's cool. So you can find me on Twitter at Samuel Tolbert. You can find me on TICGN.com writing reviews, news, or opinion pieces. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Come talk to me.
All right. And so, I'm Anchorman V2. Thank you guys for showing up on the show. Especially you, Rage, for showing up last minute. We appreciate you, dude.
Oh, thank you. If I had seen it earlier, I would have hopped right on.
All right, man. So we're going to get out of here. Hope you guys have a good night. And we will see you guys next time on the Multiverse Show, episode 96, next week. Hopefully with the whole cast on.
Getting close to 100.
And see you guys later.